Hello, YouTube. It's me, Alex, David, and we have our special guest here, Scott Morrow of UNLV Gaming Lecture.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah.
Very good. So let me make you aware, my coffee cup is empty. Just so we know, put that over here.
Oh my God.
God, look at this guy. I keep smiling there, buddy. All right, you ready? Okay, so we have a wonderful podcast today with our special guest. And so because our guest has a long, storied history in gaming. So that's kind of what our focus is going to be. We're going to give our audience, obviously, is sort of a gaming audience. You know what I mean? Both young and old people getting into the business, getting out of the business, don't know what business they're in, this kind of thing. All right, here we go. So go ahead and tell us, what's the origin story? How did Scott Morrow get into gaming?
Oh, wow. So I'm at the community college. I wanted to be a football coach and teach high school. So I'm halfway through the first semester, and here comes Resorts International in New Jersey. I was living in New Jersey.
All right.
Resorts International, Caesars, and Bally's to do career day. So I mosey over to career day. I've got 50 cents in my pocket. I can't even buy a cup of coffee, so I'm busted. And I start asking questions, and I can make how much, and what do I have to do, and deal cards, and craps, and this and that. I said, "That's it, man. I'm in."
Really, you're in?
So I was so in. I went home that night and told my parents and Mom, "This is what I'm going to do." And I'm going to be a dealer. No, you're going to be a coach, and you're going to go be a teacher, and you're going to do this.
Yeah.
I said, "Mom, I need $1,500. It was $1,500 back in the day to go. 1979.
Wow.
Yeah,
$1,500.
$1,500 just for craps, just for one
Oh
game.
my God, we have to raise our prices, Alex.
So I mean, adjusted for inflation, it's
wow, a lot, like $1 million.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Like, oh my God.
And I had to drive an hour one way to Atlantic City from our home in Denver.
How old were you? Atlantic City, you could be 18, though.
You could be 18, but I wasn't 18. I was 17, and that's another part of the story.
Oh my God.
That with 2 weeks to go and before the big graduation day, the director of the school calls me into her office and says, "You're only 17."
Uh-oh.
I said, "Yeah, but I'll be 18 in a couple weeks." She goes, "Well, come back in a couple weeks." He says, "You can't be here right now. You're only 18. You're not 18.
Your first game you learned was what, dice?
Yeah.
Dice, and then you became basically a dice dealer to start.
Yeah, I pretty much dealt craps every day for the first 7 years that I was in the business.
Wow. So what? So who did you end up working with out of those casinos? Resorts?
I went to Bally's.
Oh, you went to Bally's?
I worked at Bally's for a year.
Oh, very good.
Then I took a little sabbatical to go coach football.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So,
I was really into coaching football. So I had
very good.
Pop Warner football team that I had to spend some time with, and then went to the Sands. I worked at the Sands for a year, and then I went to the Claridge.
Yeah, wow.
And the Claridge was really cool because they were the first place that had like triple odds.
Okay.
So
on dice, by the way.
Yeah, triple odds on dice.
Yeah,
so all the dice players would come there, and the dealers were really good there.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. So I was at the Claridge for.
So back in the day, it was double odds most places, and then triple odds, and then now we have 3, 4, 5, 10 times, 100 times odds.
Yeah, I heard Cromwell's
doing
100 times
all
odds.
put bets.
Yeah.
You got to know put bets, man. I was actually I was at Texas not too long ago, and there was a box and a dealer who didn't know how to do a put bet. They didn't think it was a legal bet. They were stunned that a player actually wanted a put bet. We're like, dude, they're bypassing they come. You want this bet. This casino is definitely wants this bet. Anyways.
Well, anything the casino lets you do.
Right.
Is good for the casino.
This is true. All right, so you went to, what kind of school did you go to?
It was called East Coast Gaming School. But it was right in Atlantic City.
All right, very
good.
And
I had to drive. My mom had this car, this Volkswagen. She called it Herman the German. So she had the name for the car. So I drove Herman the German 60 miles one way.
Wow.
Went to school, 60 miles back.
Wow. Was it a bug?
Yeah.
Like one of the old bugs?
Old school stick shift, the whole bit.
I love those. I learned on one of those. That's how. Well, very good. All right, so dice, you went to school. By the way, Atlantic City was always known for being much more structured in terms of dealing. I mean, a lot of action, a lot of high limit action. that kind of stuff didn't come to Vegas until later. Vegas was always sort of the loosey-goosey. When you got to Atlantic City on a dice game, an Atlantic City dealer, everyone was like, wow, look at that guy go. You know what I'm saying? It was a thing. Because I learned on a bird game, and then I didn't see an Atlantic City dealer until I was like at my third or fourth casino, a little better property.
Yeah.
And it was amazing, like just in terms of like not going hand to hand.
Procedurally, they're always like the strongest.
The strongest, yeah. Where Vegas was like, slinging checks, you know what I mean?
It was a great place to break in because you don't know anything.
Right.
And coming right out of school, it was going from school to a live Atlantic City crap game was a real big transition. I'm talking, pardon me, to get to the stick.
Right to the fire.
Yeah, and there was only, at the time, 3 casinos in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
And there was only 6 tables, six crap tables at Bally's.
Wow.
And one of them, by rule, had to be a $3 game all the time. It might have even been a $2 table.
Wow. $2 table. Right,
but I'm talking big 6 and 8 in the corner paying odds.
Oh, really?
So, bent over like a farm animal.
Oh, yeah,
for 8 hours.
Just nonstop.
Yeah,
so any bird games? No bird games?
That was it.
The $2. And you pay right
game.
to the bird. You pay right to the quarter.
Oh, it was.
Dude, rough.
It was unbelievable.
So $3 on the stick,
every night coming home.
Really?
No. There wasn't quarters on the table.
Oh, no quarters?
No.
Oh, okay.
They got the worst of it.
They got the worst of it. All right. So what was your first casino job in Vegas?
Oh, that was really great. My first job was at the Golden Nugget.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Really? Your first job in Vegas?
Yeah. I worked 9 years in Atlantic City.
Right.
And I'm reading the paper, and I'm reading about this incredible place that they're going to build. Mr. Wynn's going to build the Mirage. And I really, really love dealing in Atlantic City, Las Vegas. I want to move to the big time.
So what made you transition? What made you come to Vegas?
I wanted to get a job at the Mirage.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So I came out for the Mirage job, and I did the audition, did everything. I thought it went really well, and I get the thanks for coming letter.
Oh, wow.
So that was like heartbreaking.
No Mirage.
No Mirage, but 72 hours later, I'm back home and still bummed out about not getting it.
Yeah,
and I'm opening up the paper and a full-page ad that Golden Nugget Atlantic City, Golden Nugget Las Vegas is hiring, and they're going to do job fair at the Playboy Club.
Oh.
On the
That's
strip.
right. There was a Playboy Club before.
Wow,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Long
sure
time
it was.
ago.
Yeah,
89.
it was pretty cool too.
Yeah, no.
So anyway, I
Yeah,
go there, and that went really, really well. And they
Yeah.
said, "Well, you got the job. You just have to go to Las Vegas." I said, "I was just there 2 weeks ago
Uh-huh.
for the Mirage job." Well, you got to go sign. You sign your papers.
Yeah.
You got the job.
Yeah.
So that was it, man. And so Karen and I flew. My wife Karen and I flew.
And came out here.
Flew back out and signed the paperwork and bought a car and
Wow.
got the apartment ready to
Dude.
go. And
When I saw the Mirage being built when I was still in the military, I had to drive a Hummer at one point, and I remember driving by and seeing it. There wasn't a lot there. It was like that was the big property that was being sort of built at the time in '89. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's just fantastic.
so I would stand. It was called the Fountains at Flamingo. Mm-hmm. So where it was like Flamingo and Pecos, I believe it was.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm standing on the balcony every night, and I'm looking at the Mirage and just.
Yeah.
I gotta work there. I'm gonna work there. Just visualize.
And that was literally like the first real premier property.
Oh,
on
it
the
was-
strip
it was
by far.
unbelievable.
I mean, now we have like Bellagio.
It was a real game changer, man.
Yeah, it was for Vegas in general. It was a game changer. Yeah.
For gaming in general.
For gaming in general, yeah.
I remember as a kid, even the casinos, there was no walkway. Like how they have the bridges and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now you could literally just pull up to any casino. There's a parking lot right there and
Yeah.
just walk right in. Like Caesars, instead of the, it's like all this other stuff now. It's just, it's crazy how much the city has changed.
Dude,
so
it really is
my
amazing.
first night at the Golden Nugget.
Yeah, go.
All right. So first night at the Golden, I'm on Graveyard, and we're going shift for shift.
Oh.
So I'm on Graveyard. We go 30 ways.
Wow.
30 ways, and I'm dealing craps that night, and guy comes up. I might have dealt like maybe 2 hours the whole shift. Guy makes a bet for us on the pass line. I hit it. Great. Blah blah blah. And I go home, and my wife goes, "How'd it go?" I'm like, "Oh, well, it's pretty cool. Not so much." So I come in the next day and I see the big line. It's like, what's going on there? And that's you go get your tips. Because I'm Atlantic City, I get it in a check. So this is the first time I'm going to get my cash envelope.
Love the envelope. Yep.
So I wait in line, and just finally gets to be my turn in line. And I showed the young lady from the tip committee my badge, and she starts counting out this money.
Yep.
And she's not stopping. And she counts it out. She goes, and she hands it to me, and serious.
Yeah.
I handed it back to her. I said, I only worked one day. She goes, they went 666 last night. Mizuno was playing in the Baccarat room. I'm like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me, man? My first,
welcome to Vegas.
That was my first payday in Las Vegas. Dude. 666.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Golden Nugget is still a good job, dude. All these years later, still a fantastic casino.
Well, I mean, and so beautiful. To be able to, actually what happened was I was dealing craps there, and then about less than 30 days later, the Mirage opens. So all the folks that were at all the team members at the Golden Nugget, they transfer it over, and I got a chance. I had to actually audition to go to the Baccarat room. So that was my ticket to the Mirage. Was they were always the Baccarat was really big at the Mirage. And
Was it Big Buck?
yeah, that was great.
Dude,
it was really great.
Everybody wanted to get in the Mirage back then. That was like
it was such a game changer. I mean, when I got that phone call, that was. I remember the first night pulling my car into the parking lot, and you got to imagine, like, I was at the Claridge, and it was a great place to work as far as camaraderie, but we didn't make any money there. It was one of the lower paying dealing jobs in Atlantic City, and now I'm pulling my car into the Mirage, and I'm doing that visual thing every night from my porch, and I'm finally made it.
Wow.
And it was seriously emotional. I mean, I was so happy. I was crying in the car. I said, I can't believe I'm.
Dude, I think a lot of dealers. You want to know when I felt like I made it? I went from the Golden Gate. I broke in there. I worked there like 6 months. On the Bird game, and the Gold Coast hired me. So as I'm walking to the Gold Coast, like the Golden Gate is like this just dive casino, and the Gold Coast is this big. Property with the parking garage. I had to actually park in the parking garage, and I walk in, it's this huge place. And I realized, wow, I'm really a dealer now. Like, I made it out of, I'm no longer a break-in. I'm at a dealer. I'm at this big property. It wasn't until years later I ended up at the Rio when I started making, significant money. Although I worked Fitzgerald's. That was a ship-for-ship still. And I was still envelope. And on Graveyard, there was 14 dealers. So you didn't have to make a lot of money to, drop some, you know what I mean? You just
go 14 ways.
14 ways. That's fantastic. And one of those is the Dice Crew. The rest of them, it was fantastic. So, back in the day in Vegas, I used to always follow the money. I just went job to job to job, sort of hoping one day. I tried to get in the Mirage, and it didn't go so well. I tried to get in Caesars.
17 years I worked there.
Wow, really?
Yeah, pretty much went full circle.
Wow.
So that's from being. I had a really sweet gig for the first 3 years. You got to remember, when the Mirage opened up, every night was like New Year's Eve, man. It was so incredibly awesome.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
The dealers that worked there, I mean, I really thought I knew what I was doing. Man, these guys were unreal, especially the dealers in the Baccarat room there.
Yeah.
I would just, I'd love going to work just to listen to the story sitting on the day game. Some of those friends and. The crap dealers there, Bobby Russell. I mean, some of the guys that you get lucky because you're on the same crew.
Right.
But to be able to be on a crew with somebody who's so great and real passionate about what they're doing as a dealer. I mean, these guys, they really knew how to deal. They were professional, and they didn't have to hustle nobody. They just on great service. They made great money. The Mirage job was such a game changer for me.
Really?
Oh yeah, I mean every night. I mean, the different celebrities, the sports guys, everybody was there. I mean, if you came to Las Vegas for a 3-day weekend, you had to go there. You had to walk in.
I mean, when Rio opened, I worked at the Rio in Masquerade Village. It was sort of the same thing. We had all those celebrities. They had Club Rio. It was sort of the same feel. I mean, different way. It was Marnell ran it. It was sort of a different type of reality, but. At the time, that was like a Cosmo back in the mid to late '90s, right? The Rio was, but Mirage in the '90s, early '90s, '89. I mean, obviously big. It's one thing that we haven't talked about so much is So Scott, we are both dice dealers, and that's the thing. When you come across a crew and you work with some guys that are just fantastic, who really take like pride in their craft, and they can cut checks amazingly, they can do stuff with bets. Even recently in the last couple of years of being on a table, I met some people with like great skills who can set up bets and understand like the game and how to interact with players. I mean, it's actually something. It's not. You deal in a blackjack game and it's kind of all about you, you know what I mean? But on a dice game, it's kind of about the crew. The better crew you work with, sort of, the better your day goes.
It's like an art form.
No, it is. It really is, dude.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I always liked about being on a dice, especially if you're able to work with the same guys that you like every day, or girls. It's its own experience. You know what I'm saying? You get to know each other. Like, I don't even have to hear my stick man, you know what I mean, call out a bet. I know what he wants. I know how he's going to, interact with the player. I know how he's going to set up the bets. You know what I'm saying? That's a very interesting thing. We've never really discussed that, but it's cool having somebody who has some years in.
What's to that point too is when you're dealing back in the day on the big bot game was a crew.
Right.
Was a 4-person crew.
Right. Yep.
So to be able to have that engaging stick person, and that was that's what really blew me away about working at the Mirage is the dealers in the Baccarat room. A lot of them were show business folks.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They were dancers and in the show, and then they transitioned into the Baccarat.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
some of them are still dealing at the Bellagio
mom.
now.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are still at the Bellagio now. I mean, but you want to talk about rock stars in their craft?
Yeah.
Just really special to be able to be with those folks.
Yeah. Because you create an experience for the guests too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you have a slam and dice crew and you have a high limit player, you set a $500 table. I mean, and you have you have some a great crew. They handle the bets. They handle the interaction. I mean, it's a thing. Because not everybody comes out here. Some people come out here just to have fun. Everybody talks about how you want to win money. That's true, but you also want to have fun on the table. You want to have the experience.
Yeah.
And if you get the right people, that's the experience. That's why so many casinos now, when we send dealers out, I mean, it's like 50-50. You got to know how to deal, but you also need to be a personality. You got to smile. You got to be fun. You got to have fun. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is for the folks that are new, the newer dealers, is to really put the effort into your craft early, because once you get comfortable to be able to do the job, and then you can do the interactive. I mean, you don't want to be, you want to make sure that you can get around the layout first. That's number one. I mean, you have that big smile and all that kind of thing. Is standard equipment, part of the uniform, but you got to be able to get around the layout. And once you get comfortable about getting around the layout, then you can interact and you can engage, and that's when that's an art form, is when you can deal those cards or handle those chips and deal into 8 players, and everybody's hollering at you at the same time.
That's pretty much what we told students here.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
it's
the job you
fantastic.
guys are doing is, it's not because you know how I feel about you guys, but it's the #1 school in America. You want to get a dealing job?
Dude.
You come here, okay?
You
Pack your
$100
bag,
fell out your pocket
pack your
right
bag, get on the bird, fly on out, okay?
Hey, Scott, your cash envelope fell on the floor.
There you go.
I know. So,
Yeah.
I will tell you this. We love what we do. Our passion is this school. And if you guys, I hope that is conveyed when we do these videos and when we have guests. We love it. Me and Alex, we're having a love affair with the school.
No, actually, one of the people that commented on my Instagram, they actually mentioned that. They're like, we can tell on video that you guys are passionate about the school.
This is our thing. If you come down here and see how we've grown, we've reinvested all of our money in this school. I mean, somebody asked us today if we make money doing this. Well, not so much. So if you come down here and you see we have 19 tables rolled out into 3,100 square feet. I mean, and they're good tables. It's good equipment. It's good. We reinvest in we have instructors from Cosmo. We have Cosmo and Caesar's Palace and Bellagio instructors here at the school. I mean, I don't think any other school. I mean, we have people who love to do this, who love to teach and love. I mean, they're coming from like Cosmo job. We don't pay them Cosmo money, by the way.
Right.
We can't
But they
afford
come
that.
here because they love teaching. They just love being part of the experience. All right, so ready? I got a few. Okay, so if you could start over in game, what's the one big lesson you've learned about being in this business? Just in general. I'm sure you've learned a lot, but
Number one thing is the only thing you have in this business and pretty much in life is your reputation and your character.
That's it.
And our business is really pretty small, pretty tight. And
No, it is.
if you're a knucklehead, that's not a good thing to be in this business.
No.
And you got to be honest. You got to
Yep.
you got to be someone that the
Yep.
boss can trust. And what I always do is, as the boss, was hire my friends and watch them like a hawk.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. You know what's weird about this business? This is one of the businesses where it's very full circle. One day you're a dealer, the next minute you're the boss.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Or vice
Oh,
versa.
yeah.
Your boss ends up being the dealer.
Happened to me a couple
Yep.
times.
Yep.
I mean, I really love deal. If I had to do it over again,
Yep.
I really wouldn't have dealt as long, and I wouldn't have been so hanging on to my crap stick as long as I did. I dealt craps every day for 7 years, and then I'm looking up at the top deck. There's a second floor at the Claridge, and I'm looking at all my friends that are dealing Baccarat, and they're just sitting around talking sports. I'm like, I need some of that.
Yeah, right. I did the same.
So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to go learn how to deal Baccarat and hang out with the fellas. you
Yeah,
know?
right. Yeah. In the
But learning Baccarat is what really sent my career positive.
All right, very good. All right, here's the thing. Best customer experience you've ever had. Best customer experience.
Oh, Dana White.
Dana White?
Really?
Really? I know, right?
Dana White.
That's kind of new.
Not even close.
Really?
Dana-
All right, so what was
Dana
the
White.
experience? Can you share it, or is it one of those?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I was the director at Palace Station,
Okay.
and Dana was, and
Yep,
Mr.
yep.
Mr. Fertitta,
Yep.
and the
UFC guy.
You know that.
Yep. Of
okay.
course. Yep.
So Dana likes to play at
Yep.
Palace Station, and we made it his place. But I've never met anyone at that level, because I mean he's
Yeah. Big.
he's a pretty high level
Yeah,
player.
pretty
right?
high level. Yeah, I've heard of his
say
action. Pretty
We're not
good.
going to talk about that.
Yeah, of course.
But we're
Yeah.
going to talk about. I've seen him take some tough beats on a game and sets those cards down like a gentleman every time.
Really?
Every time he plays, he takes great care of the dealers. Every time he
that's what I've heard.
plays, he takes
Yeah.
good care of. He
Yeah.
takes care of everybody.
I know the dealers are happy to see you.
dealers are
Dana
happy
White.
whenever he plays.
Very happy.
he's the kind of guy that
Yeah.
when he comes in, you want to make sure everything's perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
Right.
Up into including security and rope
Yeah,
it
of
off and all
course.
that kind of,
Of course,
thing.
yeah.
He's not that kind of guy.
Wow.
And I've seen him multiple times
Yeah.
get up during a shuffle and take selfies and take pictures
Oh, really?
with fans and things
So
like
much
that.
more down to earth.
Oh, it's not even close.
Dude, I dealt to Bruce Willis. That's my story. So Bruce Willis used to come in totally down to earth, wearing a hat, scruffy, coming in after the club, throwing some wet $20 on the bill, just there to have fun. Doesn't care that he's a celebrity. Most people don't even recognize him. Just having fun,
Yeah.
And then of course you get like the other people
Yeah.
who we've actually called a few of them out. But you know what I mean? There's a lot of people out there who have lots of entitlement, come into a casino and they have a little money and they think they can own the kind of and yes, you get a lot of you get VIP treatment, but you suck for it, kind of thing. I mean that's how dealers, you go away with less integrity, I think.
Well, what I tell my students sometime is, players aren't judged by the content of their character; they're judged by the color of their chips.
This is true. This is
Okay?
Vegas.
I mean,
This
a
is
little,
true.
little twist on Dr. Martin Luther
Yeah,
King,
right.
but that's the way it goes. I
Yeah.
mean, if you've got a problem with that, you're in the wrong business.
This is true. Very true.
We have to give special service
special
to
care.
special people.
Dude, they have. I remember when I was at the Rio, like every couple of weeks, you'd have the sheet would go up. They'd have a special guest coming in,
Yeah.
and they would have all the things that you could or could not do with this guest. Some of them are very superstitious. You can't wish him good luck. Can't look him in the eye. Can't do. You know what I mean? There was one
Yeah.
guy we'd roll out a single zero, and he had to have it on the casino floor. So normally, they would put that in VIP, but he wanted to be like in the mix. He wanted to be on the casino floor. They roll on a casino floor. And it was he didn't want you to look at him. He didn't want to say good luck. The
Yeah.
way you had to push his checks was special. I wasn't a roulette dealer, so I'm not sure. But they used to sit there. All the dealers would sit there and just bitch nonstop about it. You know what I mean? That was like the 2 days leading up to this guy come. But anyways, all right. So what is your worst customer experience? The worst. Oh, come on. You don't have to name names. Just like
Oh, I'm calling them out.
Oh, fantastic. That's
That's what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I mean, being and it was really heartbreaking too.
Really?
Because being
Yeah.
born in Philadelphia,
Okay.
being a Phillies fan,
Okay.
and here comes Lenny Dykstra right after the Phillies lost a heartbreaking World Series to Toronto, right?
uh-huh.
But Lenny was, if they would have won, he would have been the MVP.
hero.
Right? He would have been the MVP.
Yeah.
So he comes into the Mirage Baccarat room, and I was a floor supervisor then, and I'm like lit up like a Christmas tree, man. And it's like, here comes Lenny Dykstra, that's my man.
That's your guy,
Here he comes, you know.
Good.
And he comes in, he sits down, and he makes his bet on the Baccarat. That's back in the day on the big shoe.
Yeah.
The dealer's got the player working the shoe, right? So he deals the hand, win. He must have won 7 in a row.
Wow.
Okay? At max bet, too.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm like, yeah. He loses the one hand. He punches the shoe. The card's going. He picks it up. He spikes it on the table. I'm like, what's going on with this guy?
Wow.
I say it was like total train wreck.
Wow.
Total train wreck. So, I mean, it was just so, you have your heroes, and then they just
D-bag it up.
totally.
It's so disappointing, dude.
Yeah, it really
And then
was.
they turn out to be just, not your hero.
What a knucklehead.
No, I've run into him many.
And I'm only calling him out because he's like.
Is he dead?
No, he's not dead. No. But he
He's had some trouble,
He's
though.
had a lot of trouble.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
he kind of
He's
took
not-
folks' money and didn't do the right thing with
he's
it.
not coming for you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm not sweating Lenny.
I've run into a lot of celebrities I'm very disappointed of, I have to say. You
Yeah.
know, when you meet them in person, they're totally different. You know, they put on the soul show, but
Goldie
All right.
Hawn was really, she was great. I mean, there's a lot of them that are really,
fantastic.
really
Down to
super
earth,
great.
regular people.
Super great.
Yeah.
But there's, to me, it's
Yeah.
the champion right now, and he's still out there, is
Yeah.
Dana White.
Is Dana? Yeah.
no.
Yeah, Dana
Plus,
still
this
plays.
is his town, too.
Famous.
now,
I think he
know.
plays at the
Dude.
Palms now, right?
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm just getting
Yeah.
back to town,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, he's at the Palms, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's having
No, that's
fun.
what I
He's
heard,
still
yeah.
playing. Yeah,
Yeah.
good. All right, so here's the thing. As a manager, what do you look for in your dealers? What do you want to see? By the way, Scott was a manager, big manager. He ran Palace Station for a while.
Yep.
And he went over and ran some, other casinos, and now he's come back to UNLV as a professor.
Well, should we even mention, I met him, about 4 years ago?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he met me 4 years ago when I
Yeah.
first started the school 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Little Alex, all
I know.
grown
Yeah.
up. How
He's-
fantastic.
And now he's,
Look at him.
now he's
They had
running the #1 deal in school in America.
Oh my God, dude! What? We gotta have to have Timmy just roll that out there across the screen every time he says it. Just all right. So
So here's my thing.
Yeah, go.
Put your aces in their places.
There you go.
All right. So what's that mean? Sunday through Thursday, everybody gets a chance to be in VIP. Everybody gets a chance to deal big buck. Friday and Saturday night, you put your aces in their places because the stockholders demand it.
That's it.
The boss demands it.
Yep.
The VIP players demand
Yep.
it. You gotta
That's
have
it.
your rock stars in those
Yep.
those high performing positions. What I look for, what's a rock star dealer for me? Just like we talked about, someone who's engaging and can deal the game with flawlessly and engage a player,
That's
especially at a high level player,
Yep.
because again, the chips are all the same size. They're just different colors.
That's it.
And sometimes folks get
Yep.
tweaked when the
Yep.
funny colors come out.
Yeah.
The colors in the middle.
Dude,
Yep.
that's such a
That's
big
true.
thing. It took me. I gotta tell you, I got to scale after a couple years. I finally got on some games with some higher level action. But I remember the first time I had a black, all black player, 800 across or 675 outside. I was nervous as hell. I started shaking like I was auditioning. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I got nervous. So like we have a class here, a Dice Master class. It's all about scale. It's all about presence on the game. It's all about seeing these bets, knowing these bets. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because that's the next level. You break in as a dealer. You get accustomed to the small change, and then you got to stop thinking of it in terms of the number. It's not. It's colors.
Yeah.
It's just colors. You know what I mean?
Colors, pieces.
First time I dealt at the Gold Coast, I was like, oh, big shot. $100, $200 blackjack player
Yeah.
and all this stuff. And then
Yeah.
at Win, I go to Win Encore. When Encore opens, then they put me in a high limit, and the guy's betting $175,000 a hand on Baccarat. And I'm
you're
like literally about to shit myself.
No, seriously.
I was like,
But
shit.
every dealer goes through that, I think.
Yeah, sure.
The
No,
first
everyone-
time you
no.
see that kind of action,
Oh,
it takes
yeah.
a while to build up to
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
To where you have presence, you command the game. We had a woman who just came here from Australia, dealt a lot of high limit. You could tell she has a lot of presence on the game. She takes control of every single hand.
Yep.
She tells you what you have, what you can do. You know what I mean? It's like a very fluid thing. We got to update her for Vegas standards, but yeah, definitely a thing. That's very interesting. All right, so the other thing is, career path to management. What's your advice? If you're looking at this as a whole career, you want to break in as a dealer, ideally.
Sure.
And then sort of what do you recommend? So how do you get there?
You got to get your hands dirty. You can't be the boss unless you know how to deal the games. Plus, you have to understand what the dealers are going through to be the boss. I mean, there's a lot of emotional things, HR things, those kind of there's a lot of elements that are involved. But what I would say is to learn as many games as possible, as fast as possible. Take advantage of every opportunity you can to step up in class. We all have to break in.
Right.
And everybody understands that.
Right.
However, you guys are making some really great strides. I'm hearing Palace Station is hiring your students like right out of the box. It's just
right
really,
out of the box. That's
number one gaming school in America.
I know. There you go.
So there we go.
God.
So anyway,
wow,
that's great. So what I'm saying is, you got to break in someplace, but don't fall in love with that place.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can fall in love with a company, say Station Casinos.
Right.
You go to Palace, right? Palace is a great job.
Yep.
But Red Rock is the flagship.
Yep.
Or the Palms.
That's right.
So fall in love with a company, but don't fall in love with a place, because you want to keep moving and get to the highest as you can.
That's actually what we tell the students. We tell them, start at a casino, put in the time. Once you felt like you put in your 1 year, 2 years, whatever, felt like where you've learned as much as you can, that's when it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Don't get stuck.
Yeah, don't get stuck. Don't do like I did and say, oh, I'm a crap dealer. I don't do those other things. I mean, if I could go back,
I know I made that same mistake.
I would have went and dealt all the games right away, and I dealt way too long.
Yep.
I mean, I just finished my 40th year.
Wow.
40.
Wow.
But I dealt for like 20.
Yeah.
Almost 20. And that's a long time.
Yep.
And I could have been. I mean, I've got no regrets. I mean, I've had a really
good career.
Great, blessed, a lot of great jobs.
Yeah.
Met some amazing people. Got friends all over the world now. All over the world, really.
Wow. I mean, Nugget to the Mirage. I went from the Fitzgeralds to the IP, okay? So, and then you guys are in Vegas. I went a different path. The Rio was a good job, I'll give it that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's 100% a thing. All right, so what are you doing at UNLV?
I'm a gaming lecturer at UNLV. So I just got the job.
Yes.
I went to school at UNLV, got the bachelor's. In hotel administration.
Yes.
And I went and got my master's degree. And UNLV was great for me. Opened up a lot of doors, especially overseas.
Yeah.
The brand is powerful. The UNLV brand is super powerful.
We love what UNLV is doing. I will say that there's in other markets and other places, there's other types of colleges and groups who work out some kind of casino thing, but it's never with somebody like you. You know what I mean? With a real background who broke into this business. It seems to be like, some of them try to bypass sort of the fundamentals. You know what I mean? They try to skip right to like, here's a casino. This is a table. They've never been on the front line. Yeah, they've never been on the front line. I know. Yeah. So, I mean, that's big.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, when I get into the stories and because one of my key roles is to help grow the gaming base.
Right.
So at Hospitality Hall That's the new building on campus. You guys were there.
Fantastic.
Oh,
the gaming lab,
gorgeous.
fantastic.
It was really
Gorgeous.
nice.
And then we have the International Gaming Institute where the CEG rock stars came and really supported my class on multiple occasions.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
I've been dealing there.
I really appreciate it.
Yep. I can say I was a dealer at UNLV.
See, the challenge for me is most of my students are under 21.
Yes.
So I can't even take them on a field trip.
Oh, that's
so
right.
we have to create the casino experience.
Yeah.
And when you guys come in, it's a really big day.
Yeah.
So I'll go over the theory in the classroom, and I'll try to hammer it out.
Yeah.
And then they really pay attention when they can hold the cards, when they can shoot the dice. They really focus.
They want to see how it unfolds. Yeah. No, that's big.
We went into that class. I was like, all right, who's 21 and older? And they're like,
nobody.
Yes.
I'm the only one.
Yeah. I was surprised to see so many people though. I was surprised. It was packed.
That's 60 students.
Yeah. That's the max,
60
right?
in a class. Yeah, 60
Yeah.
in a class, and the next batch is like 48. And then I teach electronic gaming device class.
Wow.
That's a smaller group. That's only like
and the
12.
class that we're involved in, it's Introduction to Gaming Management, right? Is
Correct.
that their actual official title?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Hey, by the way, I just realized, like, between the both of us, so interestingly on our channel, everybody's always asking me for all the stories. You know what I mean? All the dice stories, all the customer stories, stuff. I mean, between the both of us, we can have like a whole podcast, nothing but gaming stories. I can only imagine how many stories you have. Have you ever thought about writing something? I mean, now that you're
I've
a
got more
professor?
stories than Walt Disney.
I mean, because that's the thing about gaming. There's just tons of stories. You interact with customers every single day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you were downtown, you're on the Strip. I mean, especially coming from Atlantic City. I've heard. So I opened up a casino in Louisiana, right? And they had a security that we were taking in money, and we're talking $500 games, $500 max limit games, right? We were taking money in so quickly. The security had to. We ran out of tins. They had to use trash bags.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard that they did the same thing in Atlantic City sometimes. That they would literally run out of tins. The drop box was full. You couldn't put the money in anymore.
It was stuck.
Dude.
The paddle was.
Yeah, you couldn't do it. So they would literally have to come by with trash bags and move the money as quickly as they could.
I never seen a trash bag.
Yeah, right. But what did you see? What did they do?
I seen a lot of floating paddles though that they had
a lot
to
of
do emergency drop box.
Dude.
Emergency drop.
So by the way, as someone who's come from Atlantic City and saw like the height of Atlantic City, I mean, what do you think about what's happened to Atlantic City over the last decade or so?
I affectionately call Atlantic City full contact gaming.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, really?
Dealing with Mr. and Mrs. New York and Mr. and Mrs. Philadelphia. That was some rough stuff.
Yeah.
Atlantic City's been going through some rough times, but they're making a really good comeback after they kind of thinned the herd a little bit.
Yeah, thinned the herd, yeah.
My brother David's an executive with Caesars back there for
the
only job he's ever had out of high school. Let's go, Dave.
So things are evolving. I remember my first experience in Atlantic City, I was in Philadelphia, and they offered me a free roll of quarters and bus ride.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I got on that, and then I realized that full roll of quarters didn't really last all that long.
Not that long.
So I was in $200 on that, and then the table limits there were ridiculous. I mean, for Vegas had $3 and $5 games. You go to Atlantic City, it's like $25 tables. By the way, hey, just so you know, all of your Keno fans out there, do not look for 5-cent Keno or penny Keno in Atlantic City. It doesn't exist. I don't understand what is up with Atlantic City and all these high-level quarter games. Everything's a quarter. 25 cents. He doesn't know about the Keno thing. We'll fill him in later. But so I literally went to Atlantic City about 2 years ago, and I looked everywhere for a 5-cent 4-card Keno and just couldn't find it. Just unbelievable.
David's a Keno DJ.
Is everybody checked
Keno.
out now? He's like,
I know. We're all
is he going Keno on us?
27 years Keno dice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
David just went Keno on us.
Just went Keno, dude. I went there. It's the thing. All right. Well, very good. So I think that's enough. You want to add anything? That's it. That's everything I got. That's all. See, easy.
That was pretty.
That
soft.
was easy, dude. That was soft. We got to come back. We got to do stories.
We could do stories.
Next time, we got to come up with some stories. I bet we'd have, you were going to have a ton more stories than me, but everybody's always clamoring. That gets the most views. Everybody's always asking for stories. We got to do another one.
Well, we'll put a couple stories together.
All right,
we'll do different things.
Yeah, we could do themed.
Good tip stories.
Fantastic.
I think they would.
They would love that.
I think dude,
they love all that stuff.
That.
All the big over the top. Yeah.
I also want to say thank you for allowing us to come show up to IGI and help teach your classes and stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Dude, a lot of fun.
Seriously.
Yep.
I really appreciate the great support.
Our students have loved it. Oh God, my phone. By the way, our students have been absolutely over the top. It's a great way for them to sort of get out there. In fact, Alan went to the lab and dealt out blackjack. He became more confident, and he got into Palace.
Excellent.
He passed his audition because I think he got over some of the nerves there.
Yeah, I think the three of us are on the same page. It's all about putting folks to work.
Yep. Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
All right, good stuff.
Hey,
thank you, Scott.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Had a great time.
Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Like, comment, subscribe. Give us some comments below. Maybe we can throw that in the next podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.